I certainly hope it translates across the electronic internet world, going through the wireless and wired portals to you. That I have a fun time doing this. I really enjoy this, and again, I've said before, one of the greatest jobs I ever had was working in record stores. Better than working for record labels. My photo agency thing was pretty damn great for 36 years. But in terms of actual fun, of course, when you're young and you're with friends, men, women, young people you're working with, customers coming in the store. I mean, customers can be problematic, but most of them were great. We'd chat with people. I loved those record store days from the time I was 19 till about 29, give or take. Well, the record stores were not that long, but still. I just got through 3 days of the next big shift, and I learned, and our motto back in the 70s in our modest sized store is there's always room. I'm tired of these people saying, oh, I can't buy any more records. I run out of room. There's no room anymore. Now, financially, you can't buy records. You want to cut back. That's a whole different thing, and I understand that. But the thing about room, there's always room. You have to be creative. Spend a weekend, the holiday weekend, and watch those HGTV shows where they come in and renovate your entire kitchen, for $1,000 over 3 days. Sure, that really happens. But they do it. They seem to find ways. You go into a cluttered house and you find a way, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. Now, in this case, I have this one room for records. Now, I did cheat a little bit because I have another room which I'm going to show you here. There's a lot of cutaways, I think, in this video. Here's a cabinet that I've had with doors. Now, these are IKEA Bonde, Bonde. Unfortunately, people ask me all the time, Mazzy, where'd you get your cabinets, your record cabinets? Because everyone's into Calyx, but these were called Bonde. They stopped making them maybe 15 years ago, unfortunately. I don't know if they're still available in the UK or Sweden or anywhere else, but in the States, they stopped them 15 years ago, unfortunately, because they're more finished than the Calyx. They have a back, they have a bottom, slight footing, and they have sort of a top lift. And you can't put doors on. Now, I don't have doors on these, but that one in the other room I had my book collection in, or a portion of my books in a little guest room there. And you're seeing this behind me. Even though I'm waving my hands right now, you're not seeing me wave my hands because you're seeing the cutaway. I decided to move some of my audiophile, those precious box sets, put those together. I put all my Grateful Dead, or not all of them, but a lot of my Grateful Dead box sets in there. And I put in my world music, which is African and Japanese and Israeli and sort of mostly the non-English speaking thing. Now, you will see probably I have reggae in there. I know it's English, but it's a different, I've been taught by the archivist, we all have our ways of organizing our collections in alpha order and genres or not genres. And where do you put Dr. John? Is it under D or J or M or R for Max Rebenek? Well, of course you put under D, Doctor, because, and then do you put it under D-O or D-R? Because that's his stage name. To me, if it's a stage name, you put it under the name, like Cat Power. You don't put it under Power. It's not her real name, Cat Power, so you put her Cat. If it's a blues artist, if it's Sun House, now I think Sun House is a real name. Do you put it under House or Sun House? Anyway, I digress here. But I decided to put my world music there. I have my collections and soundtracks there. So it is an annex away from this room, but I was able to loosen up the sections and work on my flip bins and go through things that I haven't filed in a long time, like this record. Okay, this record I got 6 months ago when I was in New York at Billy's Record Mart. No, Billy's Record Salon in Brooklyn. Check it out. It's a great little record store. Say hi to Billy. Tell him Mazzy sent you. Seriously, great curated store. All used stuff. Some rare jazz, pop music, rock music, and I got this there. This is Glenn Bronco record, The Ascension. I think Dom from Seeking a Thread really turned me on to this. We were all hanging out there after the New York record show, the WFMU record show. Is that right? Those radio stations are all alike. I know they're not, but I got this, and part of it is what hooked me. And I don't think I really knew about much about Glenn Braca, but I definitely know about Robert Longo, the artist who did this cover with these sort of these charcoal, large, full-size people falling out of buildings. If you ever saw the beginning of Mad Men, that emulated the Longo. He's from the whole East Village scene, the Lower East Side scene that was happening musically and artistically back in the early '80s. But I love this, and this is sort of an out there, somewhat avant-garde, great guitar player, but really cool record. Kind of collectible, but I love this. But this has been in one of the bins that I haven't filed away. I'm digressing a little bit here. And plus, I have a bin of things that from the Dizzy collection that I've been organizing and selling. And I had someone I thought would want this. This is the Northwest collection. Look at this. I mean, this is a cool ass collection. I think it goes for well over $250 on Discogs with Paul Raiders, 2 different Wailers albums, 2 different Sonics records, the Northwest collection, and so it has 6 records. This box set only has 4 of them. Where are the other 2? So my main buyer, Kimbo, if you're watching, who loves this stuff, he declined. He passed on it because it's missing 2 records. I mean, come on, a box set missing 2 records. And the records are in pristine shape. They don't have full covers. They have these kind of insert covers. But still, this is a cool collection. So if I don't find someone who want it for, not a cheap price, but a reasonable price, 125 maybe, 150, I don't know. I might keep this myself. I'll talk to Dizzy about that. But again, I'm sharing a few things about the big shift. Now, the big shift, as you can see here, in fact, I'm going to do first. Here's where we are, but you don't want to see me. You want to see actually the records. So here we go. We have 3 across and all the way down are jazz. I was able to loosen those up with my Tone Poets. You can see this. These are the Tone Poets. In here I have them in alpha order, and then here. And then after my Tone Poets, one of my favorite jazz series is this series. These came out from around 1978 through around 83, give or take. These were put out by Verve. This was Verve Records, and most of these are cut by Robert Ludwig. I think this one is actually a UK-only one, but they're reissues, some outtakes, some combination things with these beautiful illustrations. So you got Bill Evans, you got Roy Eldridge. I would say when I started collecting these, was way back in the 70s, but these, even up to like 3 or 4 years ago, you could get for anywhere from $10 to $20. And most of them are double albums. I think they've gone up in price somewhat, but they're highly recommended. They sound wonderful. I find that most of them haven't been played much. Obviously, Ella Fitzgerald, Chick Corea with Stan Getz, Dizzy Gillespie, Stan Getz. You got the Afro-Cuban stuff. You got Sonny Rollins. There's more Dizzy and Roy Eldridge, and the Modern Jazz Sextet, Dizzy meets Sonny, Johnny Hodges, of course. Great stuff by Billie Holiday. This is like an instant jazz collection of a period from mostly the 50s, late 40s, 50s into the early 60s, around that period. But Wes Montgomery, small groups, Jerry Mulligan. Look at that. Just like Hugh Hefner there, doesn't he? A little bit. That might be a UK only too. The single ones were UK. But we got Anita O'Day, great big band vocalist. The Charlie Parker sides, Afro-Cuban. This is great. This is amazing. This is Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker with Machito and Chico O'Farrell. More Charlie Parker, a lot of Charlie Parker. Bud Powell. So you got the bebop stuff. Great bebop stuff. Look at this, the genius. What a genius. Anyway, on and on and on. I just love these. I love these covers. I think I have them all. And it was nice to take them out of the jazz section and pull them up. Now here we got the Black Jazz label. I don't have everything. These are the reissues. They came out some years back when Real Gone Music were selling these for like 16 bucks at one point, and they're back up. But this is great stuff. This is a label out of Oakland originally, Oakland, California. And I think I have about a dozen of these. Really wonderful. Doug Karn stuff's great. The Henry Franklin stuff's great. Awakening. Anyway, Walter Bishop Jr. Here I have some records from Room Gramophone, a label that I think shut down finally, but some beautiful things. I like their cover art a lot. One artist, one designer does all these great covers. Fire Orchestra, this is a killer ass, one of my favorite last year. These box sets, Arve Henriksen, a trumpet player, avant-garde jazz, who's worked with David Sylvian and many others, of course, the great Charlie Parker stuff. And then Beatles, there's the Beatle section there, 4 across, all the way down. That includes solo, covers, Yoko, The Family, George Martin, Apple Records catalog, imports, Japanese, English, Uruguay, American, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, this is where the bulk of the main section is. And I keep all my rock and country and blues together, and that's alpha order. Those are the play cards we had in the 70s at our record store, rock. And that goes there, all across to this side. And the very bottom 2 rows are soul. I call the Coleman collection. These are the bins that I use for extras. I'm putting some box sets in here. These are some Dizzy records, or not all Dizzy, but some Dizzy records I have to go through. And of course, the other things here. 10 inchers right there. And of course, some wonderful photography. There's your buddy Mazzy in Strawberry Fields, Liverpool in 1980, March of 1980. There's my co-author, David, and I in front of Savile Row in London. My buddy Larry, who passed away 10 and a half years ago, left me his John Lennon autograph when he met Lennon in San Francisco at KSN Radio. He also left me the signed Mike McCartney print. And then that's when I met Ringo Starr during a photo exhibit. So this is kind of the big shift, at least for now. It seems like every year you got to do a big shift. Now, this is something that I highly recommend if you want to invest in your health and clean air in your room. And I got this sort of during the pandemic for a lot of reasons, but I tell you, this was one of the best investments, different brands. This happens to be a Coway. I think they recommend this for up to 1,500 square feet. I have one downstairs and one upstairs. This is an air purifier. I think once a year you change the filter, and it's on sort of an automatic setting right now. But I tell you one thing, when I bring in shit-ass, moldy, musty records from collections, I won't mention whose collection, and I open them up here, this thing kicks in and it sucks the mold and the dust and the bullshit out of the air into it and purifies it. And I can tell the difference. I used to get headaches and stuffiness, and not that it will alleviate all that, but if you're going through a lot of old used records and you're having problems with breathing, and especially some of you old folks, and I know it's an expense. I think these, you subscribe to their email list, they go on sale, but they end up being about $400 to $450 on sale. There are other ones that are cheaper, smaller units for smaller things, but I tell you, an air purifier in a room of old musty records is it's something that I highly recommend if you can swing it, because I tell you, I'm getting less congested than I ever used to when I go through collections, my own collection, and I'm re-sleeving them and discogging them. Just update, I haven't done discogs in a while. I'm up to there. That's my marker, so I'm up to the Rolling Stones, and I still have these down. Already did soul music, so just those down. And I need to do the Beatles. I think I made a mistake before. It's 3 over and all the way down. I haven't done the Beatles, and they are a pain in the ass to Discogs because there were so many pressings. So thanks for watching. That is the latest sort of room tour. There's always room progress.